All right, that story forms the basis of our big question tonight. And we ask, should absconding chairpersons and their deputies be penalized by the ruling party? Should the House leadership penalize the absconding members of parliament? Should they be punished for not doing their duties? Please send us your yes or no answer to the toll-free number 22151. And feel free to copy us or to tag us on X. Use the hashtag NewsHour at KenMijungu at KTN News KE, and we'll definitely be sampling some of your comments. Remember, the toll-free number is 22151. All right, from the big queue, we begin our discussion tonight, and I'm glad here to sit with. Actually, it's all a bench of all lawyers. Peter Kaluma, member for Homa Bay.
Learned people.
And of course, Homa Bay Town member of parliament. And of course, Alutala. There's a friend of mine called Mwanga. She's also a lawyer. He told me, Ken, make sure you don't massacre Alutalala's name tonight. So I'll not say Mkhwana.
Yeah,
did I get it right?
Alutalala Mkhwana.
Mkhwana, right. Mwanga, I got it right. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming tonight.
Yeah.
We have a whole lot of discussion. There's a lot of politics going on in the country. But I like your perspective. Peter Kaluma was in the United States rooting for Trump. Are you happy?
Very happy.
Why are you happy? People are thinking the lady should have taken this and make history.
No, the lady had no policy to sell to the Americans. And I think she has been too lucky for far too long. I've never seen her fight for anything.
Really? It's about luck.
I've never seen her fight for anything.
What do you mean? You
remember even her nomination?
Yes.
She did not go through nomination. She got no vote. They had a coup against Biden. Her being the running mate and therefore VP, she was also just
Is that the reason? Peter, that cannot be the reason for celebrating a triumph.
I will tell you why.
Yes, tell me why.
But I'm telling you that it would have been very unfortunate for Kamala to be elected president when Hillary Clinton were not elected. But really, the reason as to why I'm celebrating Trump, Ken, I've been pushing very hard for laws around the family protection laws. And it has been very difficult, Ken, to do so with the U.S. Democrats in power. The main thing the U.S. Democrats, beginning mainly from President Obama's time, has been doing is to push for homosexuality, what they call LGBTQ, as human rights, abortion. And therefore you saw even the campaign of Kamala. It was a shout about abortion is a fundamental thing. And those are the issues, inconsistent with our matters. People of the entire world do not know that the first executive order President Obama signed when he became president was that homosexuality, which they abbreviate as LGBTQ, must be recognized as human rights. At the second point of that executive order, Ken, President Obama mandated that any U.S. organization giving aid, grants, funding to any part of the world must condition such fundings to the beneficiary, whether state or organization or individual, recognizing homosexuality as a human right and promoting it. And that is why, for instance, Ken, when you see what happened with Uganda across here, where they pass a law against homosexuality, and all scientific research confirms that homosexuals are more predisposed to HIV/AIDS infection. You get it? Because they easily wound, they easily pass fluid. And this is all research, whether you go to Yale, you go to Harvard. So that a country seeking to reduce on homosexuality is a country saying, we want to reduce HIV prevention. But you saw what happened to Uganda, where PEPFAR funding, which should be for HIV/AIDS, prevention, is now being denied to a country, passing laws against that. So my happiness with Trump
he doesn't
is that with the Republican coming in, and by the way, if you walk across the United States, those Republican states, about 27 of them, have passed laws against these homosexual things. They are pushing here, the things they call for CSE, comprehensive sexuality education, the things they call sexual rights and whatever. So to me,
that's just one of
Trump,
that's the biggest for you.
Trump coming in
yes.
is going to give us room. I've been fighting for this law for far too long. Now the blockage, and it is not just light for me.
Yes.
From a religious perspective.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, these people are recruiting our young people, more so in the poor estates, including our young graduates, in a very difficult. So it gives us room and opportunity to push back against these ideals that the Democrats have been forcing upon us.
Let me hear from Alutalala. Where were you standing? Who were you rooting for? And are you happy with what has happened? And what does that translate for the nation in general?
Thank you, Ken, for having me. First of all, Mheshimiwa, before we came here, he gave me the privilege to understand his mind, but I told him that as a member of parliament, and now they are in government, and as a state officer of a friendly sovereign nation, he ought not to be taking very, very extreme positions in public against a friendly sovereign state of the United States.
So this is an executive order.
But he says that he has been pushing that particular agenda against homosexuality. So I give it to him. But Ken, congratulations to Donald J. Trump. In no history known in the United States of America has a man overcome so many obstacles to become president. This guy is actually an indicted felon. The amount of charges that this guy has faced, he was almost being driven into bankruptcy. But the guy has grit and he has stuck to it. But most importantly, the lesson that I learned from Donald J. Trump's victory is this: that many times it matters not what it is that you are saying, as long as it resonates with the voters. That despite the mainstream media in the United States actually having more or less decampaigned Donald Trump, the American voters in Nebraska, in the rural areas, swarm like bees to vote for him. And therefore, we give him congratulations. I also think that his presidency will bring a bit of a shift on the international policy arena. I fear for our brothers in Ukraine because his stand has been, he doesn't care who wins, but the war must stop. Finally, we must also give it to Kamala Harris. Poor lady, she had such a short time.
173 days.
Thank you. 173 days to deliver 47.5% of popular vote. That is not a mean feat. She must feel proud where she is. She's an investment to the Democrats, and God willing, she'll have a second bite at the cherry.
Like Hillary. A good point. I'll just give you a minute. I need to take a break because we'll have a long 1 hour for our discussion.
Ken, let me tell you.
Yes.
The Republican regimes have been the best for Africa. Trump has been demonized by the mainstream media. I'm happy today the mainstream media in the US have been buried. In fact, I'll never watch CNN and you know, these others. But you can imagine what he's gone through. That you decide to weaponize the Department of Justice against an opponent. When you see those cases Trump was facing, engineered from the people he was to face in the elections, really something for which I also say, you know, a big take. Let us not say that Kamala had a short time. Kamala has done, you said, 173 days of campaign.
Yes.
What is a policy that you can remember?
In 173.
I mean, you watch the lady on the simplest of an interview. She cannot respond to anything. And that is why I'm telling you, it would have been very unfortunate if Kamala were elected when Hillary Clinton was
never elected.